Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fleet Command as we continue with the mission editor tutorial. You'll have to forgive me, I forgot. I realized after I booted up the game that I forgot to put on some Fleet Command music, so unfortunately background's going to be a little quiet this time. But today I think we're just going to add the OPFOR for our scenario real quick. So what we'll do is we'll have a Kirov. And we'll just give it area waypoints. You'll notice the Kirov, we can see, oh wait, here it is. We can see they've got helixes. And okay, it can only have the one on deck. We'll also start adding some mission goals. So the Kirov is going to be kind of the our practice for jamming and conducting a surface attack, or an anti-surface attack rather, I should say. We will also add a submarine. We'll make it an easier, you know what, let's make it a Typhoon, because why the fuck not? What's the depth here? 130 feet. Kind of shallow, especially for how whatchamacallit, how big those things are, but we'll put that in there. So the idea being, we'll demonstrate like anti-surface tactics against the Kirov, and then we'll send in some planes to deal with, to do a search of the area and get the submarine essentially. So what we can actually do here is it global goal, I want to say? Yeah. So to add an objective in these, you add a global goal. It counts as like a map icon, but like it doesn't have a physical presence in the game. So we'll call this Kill Kirov. And you can change the goal type. Automatic. Okay, that's not quite what we want then. Or is it? Communication. Action. Okay, you can have create. Automatic, I think, is just used to trigger messages, want to say. Because if you see, try to remember, they have Kill Kirov. Yeah, this is telling you about goal precedence, so we don't want that. I don't want a destination goal either, though. There is a... I gotta... Man, I hope I don't actually have to, like... read them. Here we go. Add attached goal. So you right click on it, add attached goal. Now we can say a kill goal. So we've attached a kill goal to the Kirov. So we'll call it Kill Kirov. Object to complete the goal. Side 0. That's us. Country United States. Class we'll leave blank because any class can do it. The only reason I even put in United States is because all of our units are United States, but in theory, if you were commanding like a multinational force, I think this, like if say you use some Turkish F-16s to kill a Russian ship with a kill goal attached to it like this, with the country set to United States, that might fuck you up. So when damage is at 100%, it'll give 1,000 points. We're not going to bother with start and end times. That's more useful for, like, if you recall back to that mission where we, I think it was liberating Liberia, where we had send helicopters to the airport to pick up all the embassy staffs at 5-minute intervals. That's where you would use this, where it's like, okay, this 5-minute interval, I want it to be accomplished in. Return the base. If you had a specific platform, you might be able to, like, say, if we're using the liberating Liberia example again, let's say you had it, only Delphine helicopters could accomplish the goal. or actually, if anything accomplishes the goal, like in that case, like, yeah, in theory, anything, you could let anything do it, but realistically, only helicopters are. You click this, and I think after a unit completes that goal, it'll automatically return to base, which for us, we don't care about. You can have communication message, and you can actually, you'll notice there's audio files here. I have to look up the relevant file, so that I'll have to remember to do that for the future, but you can basically use the default ones that come with the game that they use in the single missions and the campaign campaign missions. I can't speak today. So like intelligence message copy or new intelligence report received, you know, those messages that our attaché would give us, those audio files are accessible and you can use them. So we can give this, so we can say intel battle damage assessment report that the Kirov has been destroyed. And then you can have success and debrief missions. So congratulations, you have successfully destroyed the Kirov. You need to do a better job. There for failure. And if I really wanted to, I'm kind of curious. Oh, I don't want civilian aircraft. Does it only make planes? Apparently, okay, cancel then. I was like, well, if I could add like some life rafts to appear around it after it got destroyed, that'd be one thing, but I guess not. So we could add another attached goal, and we'll just call this Kill Typhoon. Kill goal, side 0, United States, 100% damage. The goal itself will be worth 1,000 points. Sonar monitoring confirms that the Typhoon submarine has been sunk. And then we could say, congratulations, you have sunk the Typhoon submarine. Apologies for the banging. We're preparing for some remodeling, and I was told there would be no more banging today, but apparently that was a lie. So I apologize for that. That is outside my control, so. Alright, so action, we won't have any associated action. So now what we can do, and what the game was kind of talking about, is by doing this, we have the Typhoon as a child to Kirov. So now we can only kill the game will only respect that we've killed the Typhoon if we kill the Kirov first, which is going to be a reasonable thing. Like, there's no reason to do that, but in the case of this scenario, if you send anti-submarine aircraft here, they're just going to get shot down until you cripple or destroy the Kirov. So as an example, we can do that here. I will set up a hostile airbase just on shore for some fighter training stuff. You do see Russia. Really? The Bear is their AWACS. Okay. I would have thought they'd have the A50, but apparently not. Apparently the Bear pulls double duty as their AWACS as an electronic warfare. Different variant is maritime patrol for them. But in this case, we'll just have some Can we get something other? Who has MiG-23s? What if we, what does Iran have for fighters? Libya, surely you have... Maybe they don't have MiG-23s in the game. God, that nations list is a lot shorter than I remember it being too as a kid. As a kid, I'm like, wow, this is so many nations, and now it just feels so short, especially compared to India. India has MiG-21s. Really, they don't model those. Okay, okay, game. Let's give 2 flankers and 4 fencers. And we will probably set those up because I haven't decided myself what I'm going to do with those. Where is it? But we will have I do want them, they'll be in flight. So like they'll just be on a transit towards our battle group. And I think, yeah, we can copy that. Okay, so once there's no more aircraft, you do have to go back and pull. And here you can see, like, it's showing you have flankers stationed at the base. It's 0 because they're all airborne, but they do exist. So now we can add the fencers. We'll give them the same sonar buoy search with an anti-surface warfare loadout. There. And what we'll do to make things a bit easier on ourselves is we'll have a Hawkeye airborne. Can I just leave that blank? And then we can add some Tomcats. There. Actually, we'll just add 6. So, all right. Be a little fun bit to start down that. Global goal. What we can do here is, let's see, how long is it going to take us to get 3 hours? 4 hours? What we can do here is, you can see there's a radius attached to this goal, and we're going to call this a transit goal. And we'll say that a Nimitz class carrier has to achieve it. So that, in that case, that's going to be the Ronald Reagan here. And you can adjust this radius, as you can see. And we're just going to say, okay. We're just going to send a message saying, launch point reached. You successfully transited to the launch point, and you need to do better. There. So now, I could make objects. Actually, that would almost make sense for this to just generate an attack force, but meh. So now we can go in the goal precedence and actually put that under the transit goal. So first we have to reach the launch point. Then we kill the Kirov. Then we kill the Typhoon. and they have to be accomplished in that order. Otherwise, it will not recognize it, and you will fail the mission. Now, if I had just ordinarily though, I think for most goals, what you can do is drag them back to root, and you'll see now these goals can be accomplished independently of each other if you just leave them like that. They are going to be chained to one another, and that's generally the way I prefer it. I'm really only doing this for demonstrative purposes within the editor. We can add another goal too for, well, we've done I don't think land strikes are particularly complicated, so I don't think there's really any need to go over that in the tutorial. Oh, that's not what I want to do. You can also add other goals too. Like I can add goals for the other side. That's mostly going to be for multiplayer missions. Let's see, do I have to... Oh, that's not what I want. So I suppose... is it a global goal then? I thought there was a way to add like X must survive the mission, which might be a variant on the transit goal, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that because I swear that was like a thing. But that might also just be some, well, this doesn't really have scripting. Some other things. Oh, okay, I went through the mission description already, but you can also define the starting intel and tasking messages. I believe, yeah, we already set the title. Let's see here. Side alliances, environmental conditions, we already went over. Yeah, so I gotta do my own research. One last thing that we'll do is we're gonna set up 2 neutrals here. We'll set them to side neutral. Actually, I'm just gonna delete you and we'll just copy the first one. So neutral class designation. See, there is a raft, but merchant, well, oil tanker, transiting this way at 6 knots. Yes, I want to replace the current tactic. And yes, I want to replace the current tactic. All right, he might run aground, but that's not my problem. So what we're going to do here, as you see, we got these 2 oil tankers in 2 different positions going different ways. What we'll do here is we can create a dynamic group. Off of oil tanker. And actually, I've never really bothered with this before. I always make more like set piece stuff. So I think what I do here is the probability of inclusion is like, what is the probability? If I understand right, I'd have to go back and read the manual for some of this, but I believe, and we'll find out once we do some testing, probability is that probability of this group appearing, period. Now, minimum is the minimum number of objects in this group that will appear, and the maximum is the maximum number. I do want to test something here though. And you have nested, okay, it looks like you can't have nested groups, but so we have 2 objects, minimum 1, maximum 1. So that means 1 is guaranteed to show up no matter what. Actually, if we do minimum 1, maximum 2, 1 is guaranteed to show up. There's a chance both might show up, but which one shows up, I don't know. And we'll be able to see that. We'll do a couple playthroughs just to kind of test and make sure that's working right. Or I could actually read the manual like I'm supposed to. But Minefield, I think I showed that off last time. So because it does the stupid, well, it's not stupid, this is actually useful in some contexts, but because it shows this by default, if you want to select multiple objects, you go to edit, select multiple objects, and now your cursor will, well, it didn't work there because you can't go outside the box, but now you can see I can select multiple objects like in the like when we're playing the game. So I think edit dynamic group. Yeah, I think for now we'll call it here. So I'm exhausted, so I know this hasn't been a long episode, but been doing stuff all morning. So all right, I was gonna add another in-flight aircraft for shits and giggles. There, now we have an E3 air. Ooh, okay, so you can add an in-flight aircraft. There's another thing to show. So by default, it's just an in-flight aircraft. However, we could say, hey, launch this aircraft with this loadout on this mission at this time. And then this determines whether, I believe if you have refresh station, because notice how it's exclusive. If you have refresh station, that's basically creating a station like what we've seen in game where it will assign aircraft to that. And then if, like, for our reason we send that aircraft home or it gets destroyed, it'll automatically launch the replacement. And it starts out as an in-flight aircraft as well. So it's kind of like in-flight aircraft plus replacement. Yeah, here's also where you can affect probability of inclusion. So what we can actually do too is we can set up another neutral merchant here. And just without the dynamic group, just have a base, like a 50% probability of inclusion. That applies just to that unit. So maybe that unit's here, maybe not. And I think you can also, that must be how you nest them. So you could say, okay, here's this group, here's the probability of it occurring, here's the minimum number of ships, maximum number of ships, and then you can set their individual probabilities. And I think if it rolls, like if it happens to roll so none of them appear, I think the minimum probably forces one to appear. And then if, like, say you have a max of 5, but you have 7 ships and they all happen to roll to appear, by setting a maximum, I think that bounds them so that way only 5 appear, even though all 7 roll to appear. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I mean, just from looking here, that's what makes sense to me. Like I said, I always focus more on making these grand set piece battles rather than, you know, making a mission that like would be for other people to consume, which is where more the dynamic stuff comes in. Because as a mission editor, even if it's dynamic, random, it's like I still know the bounds within, like that it's going to be dynamic in, that it's going to be random in. So it doesn't really make the mission any more of a secret to me. Oh, you're at 200 feet, you should be at 50 feet. All right, so as you can see there, not a valid depth. Okay. Oh, what about 100? So as you can see, the game does kind of error check you. I do have to specify a tactic. All right. Damn it, I'm gonna have to do that. All right, barrier. And of course I can't give them all barrier at once. All right, but yeah, as you can see, the game does kind of do an error check when you save or attempt to save the mission. And I wish you could just save it with errors, but no, it forces you to correct everything before you save, which is probably for the best. But Nope, I missed one. All right. These all defaulted to AAW. Okay, good. I don't want them using that shitty ASCW loadout that our Tomcats always seem to be loaded with at the beginning of a mission when they were in flight, which I don't know why they use that loadout, but whatever. So there we go. Now we've passed all the error checks, so the mission would run if we were to run it. We aren't going to do that today. We'll probably have... excuse me. We'll probably have one more mission tidying things up, and then we'll go and test it out. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.